gag me, take me to the bunny ranch. People dying, kill me in the packing house. Even you have to win some.
Good day, mate. Put another shrimp on the barbie.
You guessed it, folks. We're going to England. Welcome to Bunny Ears, the show where we know nothing about other countries. I'm Matt Cohen.
Yes, and I am Jonathan Taylor Thomas once again.
Big fan.
Big fan. Oh, thanks, man.
Big fan.
I'll be home for Christmas.
Was that a thing?
Yeah. It was a movie.
Home Improvement.
It was a movie he was in. Yes, he was also in Home Improvement. I was taking a deeper cut.
Baby,
but go on.
Baby Simba.
Baby Simba, yes.
Or like child Simba in general.
Yes, he was.
He's here, ladies and gentlemen.
Here's
So is Mufasa. Welcome to the episode where we just role play as Lion King characters.
Yes.
Warren, on Bunny Ears, we realized something recently.
What did we realize? Tell them.
We've got a thriving fan base, Mac, in various cities and nations around the world, but we
Mostly English speaking.
mostly English. To be fair, there's a couple ones where like, what do they give a shit in Sweden about us? Like, how do they
They
do
speak
it?
really good English there.
All right, fair enough. Sorry, Sweden, we love you.
Shout out to the Vasa.
We always bring up the Vasa.
I always do that.
We realized that, like, we'll be fair, our two biggest markets, like every other podcast and television show and movie on the planet, are New York and Los Angeles, because that's where the Jewish people live.
Yes, obviously.
Like myself.
Yes. It's a Zionist conspiracy.
Of course.
Yeah.
We run the world. But our third biggest market, and kind of a shock to us, and something unexpected in my part, and I'm really happy with,
is Honduras.
It's Honduras. No, is good old Blighty. Is the UK.
Yes, the old UK.
We have like a large percentage of our audience is British, and we feel like we owe one to them.
Yeah, that's why we're doing this.
Other than winning the war that one time.
Oh, yeah.
This is reparations. So, see, he's already getting sad.
All right, introduce our guest.
Long story short, this guy's a friend of mine. He's an actor. You know him from such films as Pacific Rim, Mute. You know him from True Blood. You know him from a Reese Witherspoon movie that I don't remember the name. Heart of Dixie? No, that's
that was Hot Pursuit.
Okay, you were in that.
And Warcraft.
World of Warcraft. You played a gnome ogre. You played an orc.
I played. I played an orc. Yes.
Yeah, he would know that. Stuff
I would know
more than
that.
I would.
I was a WoW player.
Yes.
He was big
there you
into
go.
WoW,
I
yeah,
played
yeah.
Orgrim Doomhammer.
You were the lead of a television series in which you body swapped with Philip Baker Hall.
Yes, I did.
If you haven't guessed it already, folks, it's Sir Anthony Hopkins. No, it's Rob Kazinsky. It's Sir Rob Kazinsky.
It's Sir Rob of Kazinsky.
Who is, as you can hear, from Australia. So
I am.
It's
Yes.
perfect.
I am.
And do you know a very
And also, by the way, I am a British Jew, so I am encompassing both your markets.
What's funny is most of the British people I know just happen to shake out to be Jewish, and
What?
Yeah,
I'm the only one I know.
Neil Gaiman is also Jewish.
Oh, well, it's fucking Neil Gaiman.
Yeah,
right?
but
What about-
you're the two British people I know. I'm very lucky with the British people I know.
I actually did not know Neil Gaiman was Jewish.
Absolutely.
Actually, me neither.
Edgar Wright's Jewish, isn't he?
I don't know.
I thought so. Maybe I might be wrong.
That might be. That this
he
might
looks
be
kind of Jewish.
I was just about to say that's
Are we
that's
profiling?
the eye test. You know?
I did know that you are not only you are a British Jew, you are 8.5 feet tall.
Yeah.
You are like an action movie star.
Yeah.
So like apparently
And you know parkour.
They grow.
I don't.
They grow Jews different over there
I was just
across the
throwing it out
pond.
Yeah, they you know, I mean, I'm Ashkenazi, you know, I'm
am I,
Russian,
buddy.
you know, I'm like, yeah,
So
I'm,
am I. I look like you look. I look like an orc, and you look like a whatever the other.
I'm
is.
closer to Putin than Jesus actually was. So
you look more like me than Cohen.
Yeah,
Yes.
but he looks like Idris
Same
Elba.
tribe.
So,
Yeah, I do look like. We should point that out.
You're the white Idris
Warren,
Elba.
Yeah, apparently the Warren thinks I look like white Idris Elba, and I will take it.
I might email him a picture
Handsome,
of you.
please do. I did it side by side. You can give him that one and see what he
Yeah, I
thinks.
saw it today.
Yeah.
You know what it is? It's the flex in your beard, the white flex in your beard.
And the shape of our eyes,
you
apparently.
literally just share a beard.
I know.
That's
It's
it.
great.
Yes,
And like a zeal for life.
He could eat you and he wouldn't even.
I looked.
notice.
To be fair, guys, to go down.
You both could be Bond.
Yeah, he's big Driss. He's big boy.
I also went down the trip today of being like, all right, well maybe like are we the same height? I was like, oh, is he like 5'9"? He's 6'3". I was
Yeah.
like, how could I possibly? I look like Idris Elba, so let's stop right there.
Yeah. Just end it there.
Rob, you are other than being an actor, you are British, and those
I
are
am.
the two
Those
defining.
are the two things that I have to offer in
Those
this
are the two
world.
things
is I
about
am
you.
a British actor.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, so you must be a really good actor because you're British.
No, why? You don't understand. This is the thing. Everything I say sounds 10% more true
Thank
and
you.
more interesting.
Oh my God,
simply by
smarter.
virtue
Oh
of an
my God.
accent.
I was
Yeah.
just about to make that smart ass remark because my brother Kieran, he goes, no, all British actors to get about a 10 to 20% plus on their acting abilities, just for the accent.
It is literally just for the accent.
Here's
We
the-
have nothing. We have no ability.
Here's the problem: it doesn't go both ways, though, right? Like if we went to England,
Oh, you sound dumb.
right? They're not girls aren't suddenly like.
But
oh
you
my
got to
God.
think. You got to think about the archetypes that have been presented in film and television over the years. I mean, like you guys had Sherlock Holmes, and you had these very smart and Jean-Luc
And,
Picard,
and you guys get Bill and Ted.
yeah,
Like,
and you guys get Pauly Shore.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Like, and it's like it doesn't. And
Don't you
Keanu
talk shit
Reeves.
about the Wees.
You know, but like these guys were not. These were the articles broadcast around the world as "This is America" and
Yeah.
"This is great" and "Team America." Like you know, we present this concept of Oxford-born intelligence and well-bredness and tea.
Is it complete
you
bullshit?
listen, I resent.
yeah, it's complete bullshit.
I resent that. I'm a Cambridge man.
You're a Cambridge man. Is that just because you saw Theory of Everything?
no, actually.
I prefer, and then let me think if I can name
I
a
played
third
Cambridge.
college in London that's not Oxford or Cambridge.
Kingston.
The Royal
There you
Albert
go.
Hall?
Yes.
Yeah, nailed it, right?
Got my MA from BA from
the
Royal
O2,
Albert
the O2 Arena. Yeah. I nailed it. We know Stop Seeing. This is the England. So, England-centric episode. How long have you not lived in England?
I have been here. This is my 9th year at the minute. I'm about to enter my 10th.
Congratulations, man.
Oh, thank you.
Did you
I
get a
didn't
green
think
card yet?
No, I came here with a green card.
Did you really?
I did. I did a movie back in 2008. It was my first job after I did a soap in England, and
Which movie?
it was Red Tails.
Okay, yeah, the George Lucas.
Yeah, when George Lucas discovered that black people could make movies.
Yeah, and he cast Rob, who's clearly
I know.
Yeah, I was the only non-racist white dude in that movie. But I did that movie. I met a girl in that movie. She lived here, and we did a long-distance relationship for a year. And then I was like, "Fuck it." Submitted myself for a green card. Got one. Luckily, didn't realize how difficult it actually is meant to be. Moved over here, and I've been here 10 years now.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought that like story would have ended with marriage because that's the best way to get a green card. But
Didn't
like,
do
no, you just breeze right through.
Here's the thing. I had all this press.
Thanks,
and
Obama.
I had loads of money back then, and I had all these awards.
Oh, back
and
in the day.
These awards that I had were literally for like best bum. And like sexiest male
I wish I knew you
2008.
then, man. It's been all downhill
I
since
know
we
my
met.
ass is huge now.
so like Evening Standard Awards.
Exactly, but when I made my application for the green card, I was an award-winning British actor.
So were you on EastEnders?
Yeah, 3
Were you
years.
really? Were you like did you become like a hot because of EastEnders? Were you like a sex symbol in England for a minute?
for about
Yeah,
a
I
minute.
didn't know that, and that's how you parlayed that into coming over here. Yeah.
Exactly right. Yeah,
That's how you get your award nominations and your award wins.
I got my 23 award nominations.
Nice.
Not that I know exactly how many they are, or that I still have them here on my shelf.
Either that or you just checked your IMDb yesterday.
Yeah, I did. 23 nominations, 7 wins. But I didn't.
British are so
You know,
polite,
I didn't. I
so
did that
polite,
for a
yeah.
long time. That was one of my first jobs, and that kicked me into
So
actually.
let's get right into British stuff. EastEnders. Americans have no fucking clue what that is.
I don't know. I think some do now.
I think Anglify. You know what I mean? Like
Sure, but it's a soap that's very different in terms of what you guys would consider a soap. I mean, it's not shot badly and with terrible lighting.
And it's done in the evening kind of thing.
It is on
as
the
well,
evening.
yeah.
It's on 4 nights a week, and it's more what you would call a serial drama that's on year round. It's actually very high quality. It's the biggest show on TV. It's like it actually tackles like proper issues. It's a good show. It's not the giant hunk of crap that people associate.
Yeah, it's kind
with
of
the
more
word
of
soap.
more of a kind of a soapy serial as opposed to a soap
Exactly.
opera.
And also,
Yeah.
unlike our soaps, which are mostly like fabulous rich people in like gowns.
Oh,
and
yeah, it's
mansions,
all uggos.
It's all like Cockney people at a bar. There's a lot of like bald dudes on that.
There's
show.
a lot of bald dudes and fat people
yeah.
and just ugly people being drunk.
So there's
It's England.
you hear
Yeah, I
about
was just saying, you described England.
the I think our recurring
Not one good tooth.
no. There's a couple. There's a couple.
One tooth
Meghan
between
Merkel
y'all.
brought him over. I think there's like a joke that every British actor has either been on EastEnders or another show which I only know through references to, but have never heard of, The Bill.
The Bill. Yeah, I can't believe you
Were you on The Bill?
No, do you know what? The Bill got cancelled just before I kind of started acting, and it's one of the big regrets that I never got to do.
But that's
The
like
Bill.
everyone's played a corpse on SVU.
But you need to kind of recognize the fact that in England there are only genuinely about 4 to 5 shows.
Okay, question. Have you ever been on Doctor Who?
I have not been on.
Oh,
Doctor
okay,
Who,
so there you
no.
go. That's one of those shows.
I'm
though.
kind of, sort of, semi-saving myself in that regard,
Ooh.
hoping that they will
you can
make
be
me
Doctor
that I
Who?
can be a Doctor Who one day.
Oh, there you go.
I would really love to take over after her, or something like that, and just for the first time since kind of Chris Eccleston, have like a Doctor who can kick some fucking ass.
Are you a fan?
True.
No.
Oh, so then don't tell him
But
that, though.
listen, he knows that Eccleston
You
was
mean
the
that-
Ninth Doctor.
You mean that Matt Smith and David Tennant aren't strapping
No,
like,
they
action
and
stars?
Eccleston was kind of that, but he was also
Eccleston was definitely that. It was
Yeah.
Doctor Who in a leather jacket.
Exactly,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
You
Yeah.
don't think a Russian
I
gangster.
don't want more cravats. I think it's time to have a Doctor who can come in and just.
I kind of like what they're
flip some
doing.
people.
I like
Are
what
you
they're
a-
doing.
are you
I
a
like
Who
what they're
fan?
doing now. But I think you're absolutely right. I think it's time to kind of flip this script.
And sadly, despite his what was his name?
Capaldi?
Capaldi, yeah. So sadly, I love Capaldi, and I think he's great, and that falls right into the kind of Doctor Who's that I grew up with.
Yeah.
It has, unfortunately, the audience kind of, because of David Tennant, kind of turned much younger, and now Doctor Who had to be like, it has to be for women, and like, so you either have attractive guys like Matt Smith, David Tennant, or you have powerful female figures like
Current, yeah.
I don't know her name.
Nor do
yet.
I.
No, like
Because I'll be honest, I fell off during Capaldi.
yeah, but people lost Capaldi because the audience wasn't watching to like perv over an older man.
I mean, and he's actually the oldest Doctor since Hartnell. I mean,
Is he
since
really?
the very first one. They
Yeah.
were the same age. I think they were both 65.
Like I grew up with
Baker?
Sylvester.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sylvester
Sylvester
McCoy.
McCoy, yeah.
With the lettuce.
Yeah,
That's, yeah.
He was in New Zealand with us as well. That was a trip when we were doing the Hobbit out there. Like
Because he actually used to be a carny and stuff. He actually like is.
Did he?
Yeah, he actually used to be a pinhead and stuff like that.
I totally see it.
Yeah. Rob,
Yes.
I should mention really quickly, because our Warren, which is our audience, they're a little confused right now, and maybe we should clarify. You just mentioned being involved in The Hobbit.
Yes.
And yet you're not in The Hobbit.
No.
Do you want to
yes,
briefly get
I would
into
like to
that?
know.
No.
Okay.
Let's just skip over that one.
But at one point...
But
Okay,
at one
hold
point,
on.
I worked on The Hobbit for a while, and it was a good experience that did not end with me being in the movie.
Quick question: were you a hobbit?
No, I was a dwarf.
Oh, there you go.
You went from a dwarf to an orc, though. So.
Yeah, dwarf to an orc. And I've been a fairy. And,
Oh, you're right.
That's right.
On
I
True
only
Blood,
play
yeah.
fantasy creatures.
Oh, look at you.
And you played young Philip Baker
I
Hall,
played
which is
young
a-
Philip Baker
a
Hall.
fantasy creature in itself.
Any interested in being a griffin or a phoenix?
I'll be anything that anyone's willing to pay me to be.
Well, there you
There's,
go. There you go.
Hollywood, are you listening?
Yeah.
Right, Rob?
Can you
into
hear
your
me?
porn
I'm available.
parodies. Yeah. If you've got a Pacific Rim porn parody called Pacific Rim Job,
Hey.
Do you know they did actually make Pacific Rim Job, but there was also an Atlantic Rim.
by
What's the name of that freaking
Asylum.
Asylum
Yeah,
Studios.
Yes.
that's right.
There was, yeah.
I haven't watched it, but one day we should live stream that.
I'm
in.
yes. If we heard it here first, Warren, we're going to live stream Atlantic Rim with one of the actors from Pacific Rim.
We'll totally do do a riff track.
But like we should do like the cast commentary, but we're not in it.
No, of course. That's
That's what,
you're
what
on
a
the
riff
same
track
page.
is. That's what I'm
we've-
saying. We'll
there
do a
we go.
riff track.
We've
Yeah,
been wanting
yeah.
to do that for a minute, so yeah.
Sold.
So I think my first exposure to British TV or kind of British culture in general, and it's a weird one. When I was really little, my grandma used to watch PBS only. It was like the only channel on her TV.
The Peebs.
Yep.
PBS, public broadcasting
System.
service.
Yeah.
Yep. And for some reason, they aired Keeping Up Appearances like 6
Wow.
times a day. And I
Bouquet residence, lady of the house speaking.
Hyacinth, yeah, he knows what I'm talking about.
I don't know
And,
this one.
what's the husband's name? Oslo.
God. Yeah, Oslo.
Yeah. It is a show about women in their 60s.
No. Oslo was the neighbor, the big fat
Okay, the big fat
neighbor.
guy. Yeah, that's what I meant.
The husband was Richard.
He was the Fred
With the
Mertz.
mustache. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the Fred Mertz of the show.
Richard.
It was a show about like women in their 60s, and for some reason, it really connected.
It was
me.
about.
It was a British Golden Girls.
No, what it was.
How would you describe it?
Hyacinth Bouquet was an
schemer.
archetypal old English lady who wanted to appear. She was very much keeping
It
up
was a
with the
classist
Joneses
show,
kind of
yeah.
thing. She saw herself as upper class, and she was living in a very lower class neighborhood. So she would sit there and just lord over everybody by being, Her last name was spelled Bucket. Bucket.
Bucket.
But she would insist on being called Bouquet Residence. Like the
yes.
Bouquet.
Hyacinth Bouquet.
And it was
good.
It was always
crazy?
it was
It
about
was good.
it was good. It went for years, but it was about the ridiculousness of the classist system and how people attached themselves to it. And it was actually kind of
because for her it was all a big act, you know.
Yeah.
Even though,
It was more important about how people saw her than the truth of who she was.
but with heart.
Not
No,
really.
they were hard. They were kind of fucking
No heart.
That's the
You guys
beautiful
don't
thing
really do
about
heart in
English.
your
No, that's the
comedy.
beautiful thing about English comedies. We don't feel the need to make people good.
Yeah.
Like-
Actually, one of the things that when I was living there, one of the things I loved was Anne Robinson doing the freaking Weakest Link, and just how fucking heartless she is.
Yeah.
She was harsh.
Loved it. I mean, because she was harsh here, but like over there, she was a goddamn
You said
dagger.
you were over there in like 2000, right?
Yeah, about like 2000, 2001.
Did you guys get into Only Fools and Horses ever?
So here's
I watched Robot Wars and the Weakest Link. I loved Robot Wars. What are you talking about?
it's going over here now. Like
No, it was.
It's still going. I see adverts for it on Sling all the time.
What's his name? Lister, the guy.
Yeah.
Tiny Lister.
No, Craig Charles.
Charles. There you go. Yeah.
Oh,
He was the
are you
host.
talking about Red Dwarf?
Yeah.
Dwarf.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, and they brought it.
Dave Lister.
They brought it back.
Yeah. With his Scouser accents and everything.
There's a couple of seminal shows which you have to watch if you're going to be.
And I
And Red
thought I
Dwarf,
was
yeah.
there, right? So like Blackadder, I could pretty much quote every episode. I'm a huge Red Dwarf fan.
Blackadder is my go-to. When I
Monty
start
Python,
dating a girl, she has to. I have to make her watch Blackadder, and
Yep.
she has to find it funny, and she has to find Blackadder goes forth to be the best season.
Of course.
Monty Python.
Python.
Faulty Towers.
Faulty Towers, right?
Faulty Towers. Do you know there's only 12 episodes
I know.
of Faulty Towers?
And you know why that happened, right? And why they set
didn't
that
want to do
precedent?
anymore.
Because of his wife. Because he
Yeah.
was working with his fucking ex-wife every day.
Yep.
And that's why that British six episodes to a series thing started, because of Faulty Towers. They were like, oh, we do 12.
Oh, and for our American fans, a series and a season are pretty much
same
interchangeable.
thing. Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yes, because
But so I read all. I like to think that I'm like a huge Anglophile, and especially with British comedy, right? And then every and Young Ones and League of Gentlemen and all this shit.
Bottom,
absolutely. Every time I read a top 10 list, they always name Only Fools and Horses as number one. I have tried,
and
on
it
multiple
just doesn't
occasions.
travel.
I cannot fucking do it.
No, it doesn't travel.
I do not get it.
It's very specific to like if you're born today, you wouldn't get it either. Like,
How would you? It's like old men in a bar talking.
No, it's not that. Are you talking about Lost or Somewhat
No, I'm talking about
Wine?
Old Fools and Horses.
See, Only Fools is about wheeler dealers in the old East End of London, when you could still
like grifter
Well, yeah,
guys.
but when you could nick something off the back of a lorry and fence it down the market. It's about market traders and about trying to make your way in London. And if you don't
that
have
first part of your sentence, by the way, was one of the most British things I've
Was
heard
it?
in a long
Of
time.
course, yeah.
Nick it off a lorry, like
nick it on the back of a lorry and fence it off down the market.
Yeah, no, that's like I was like, all right, but sorry, I
But
cut you
it-
off.
it's-
Next to the Tesco's.
But if you don't have a parent
Nailed it.
who grew up in that world, or you don't have any relation to that world, you won't. But it is over and over and over again the best show that England ever made.
You think better than Blackadder?
Yeah, I do.
Really?
I think it's right up there. I think it had everything. It went for so long, and it had so much heart, and it was one of the fun.
It went for like 10 seasons.
more
right?
than that, and it had the funny. It had what is one of the funniest sight gags that's ever happened. Some of the best supporting characters, and everybody who grew up from my age or before is so
love it.
attached to Del Boy Rodney and Grandpa and Uncle.
I should give it another shot. I should.
You won't get it though,
But I feel bad
know
that
you
I
won't.
don't. But I feel awful that like I love British comedy is like part of my
You
DNA.
could watch the best comedy. Well, actually, you might get it, but like you could watch the best comedy about living in Japan and growing up in like whatever.
and it just
is.
doesn't translate.
I wouldn't have a
It
clue.
literally doesn't. It's so British. It doesn't translate.
It's too
That's
British.
crazy.
It's too specific. It's too specific.
Go for it, Mac.
oh,
Yeah.
no, go actually.
Well, I
go
was going to
ahead.
say real quick. Speaking of Blackadder, about a week ago, I discovered something, Rob, that made me really, really fucking happy. I'm not up to date on like current British TV so much. I watched like Snuffbox a few years ago. I love like the Boosh guys.
Yeah.
Do you know about Upstart Crow yet?
No.
It's Ben Elton
All right.
created the show. It's
Ben Elton creates
it's
everything.
David Mitchell from
Okay.
Mitchell and Webb and
Yeah.
Peep Show. It's him playing Shakespeare. It's literally not Spike Milligan. Harry Enfield.
Harry Enfield, yeah.
It's fucking Blackadder, dude. It's new Blackadder.
Is it really?
I swear, it's really, 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 really good.
We keep churning out great shows from Ab Fab, and French and Saunders. We there are like the Trip movies.
I don't
Have you
know
seen-
the Trip. Oh, yeah, excuse me. With Coogan.
with Steve Coogan and
Alan
yeah.
Partridge is my favorite
Yeah,
comedy
yeah.
creation of all time.
Yeah, Coogan's
And-
great.
And
Yeah.
everything,
And, like,
Christopher Morris, all
Yeah.
that stuff.
And-
Yeah.
Oh, Chris Morris. Oh my
Did you see Four Lions?
Yeah.
The terrorist movie?
Yeah.
No.
Are you familiar with Chris
Have you
Morris?
seen any Chris Morris stuff?
I don't think so.
Oh, Matt.
He did a show.
It's literally Buddy.
I feel like I'm opening a door.
Matt, it's it's what our company is.
Chris Morris is like not allowed in England anymore. Like they won't show his stuff because the stuff he made on a show called
it's Petageddon, right? That's
the Peter Geddon stuff.
So Mac,
it's a show called Brass Eye.
And Day Today. I mean, there's also the radio.
Yeah. Chris Morris was one of them. It was the riskiest.
Fake news. It's fake news.
It's fake news and documentaries. And
That's where Alan Partridge got created.
Thing I've ever seen in
really?
my life.
I agree.
And you could not even get close to making it today.
Oh my God.
Love it.
They bring out a pedophile onto the stage and they bring out a small child and they keep asking him if he's attracted to him. Like they're trying to bait him into saying yes.
Here's a pedophile dressed as a house, slowly approaching this child.
They did an entire episode about a fake drug scourge called Cake.
Cake.
And it shots of him walking up to real drug dealers in the streets of London.
This might be the pinkest person I've ever seen.
That's him.
That is Chris Morris. Yeah.
He's
what
also
the hell is wrong with this?
I know, right?
People might know him. He played the boss.
By the way, Chris Morris, change your Wikipedia photo.
Right.
He played the boss on IT Crowd for a few seasons. Americans might know him best as that. Yeah, honestly. Matt, you would.
Here's a question. What was the last great American comedy?
Oh boy, I really
The
like
Office.
I really like.
I know, right?
I find stuff every year. Like right now, I think The Good Place is an amazing fucking show.
Right, okay.
I genuinely do think it's one of the funnier shows to come along. 30 Rock was great.
Yeah, 30 Rock actually
I like
was good.
Kimmy
I really
Schmidt
liked
for a few. BoJack. I mean,
BoJack for me is right up there with one of the best shows ever made.
that. South
stuff.
Park is still consistently really
South
good.
Park.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. Most of my
Like, it hasn't lost its touch. It's
South
been
Park's,
20 years.
South Park's touch is really the ability that they can make a show in 3 days,
Yes.
so they stay so current.
it's the only show that's able to do that.
But regardless, sure, let's say you gave 20 other shows the ability to do that.
Yeah.
They're still doing that.
That's
what I'm saying.
Unbelievably good. It's I think it's one of the most important shows
Important.
culturally in America. Like,
So-
there's
And
ever been.
Nathan for you.
Nathan
I
for you,
love.
Nathan for you.
I love
Nathan
Nathan
for you.
See, there you go.
Did you
That's
see
great.
the one where he? It was like a longer one where he hired this hooker and there was like a 2-hour like feature length episode where he was trying to find the love.
The love of
the
like,
recon-
life.
yeah.
Yeah, and it was the most.
It was a 3-parter.
Yeah, and
it was a 3-parter.
But it went to a place I did not see it going at all. And by
Yep.
the end of it, you were like, I've just been on a real journey, and this guy that he took on this journey was insane by the end of it. Like it was
It was
Nathan
gorgeous.
For you was
like that's some of the
phenomenal.
best comedy right now too. Like I mean, like when it comes to just thought out, methodical, like in the
Yeah.
But what's funny though is like when people ask me what are the most influential comedy shows in my life of all time, I go number one, Mr. Show. I don't know if you know that one. It was
Mr. Show.
It was a sketch comedy show on
David
HBO
Cross and
with
Bob
David
Odenkirk.
Cross and Bob Odenkirk and.
I can't say I.
Okay,
do.
so that was like that's our. I mean, I guess would you agree that that's like our biggest sketch? I mean, in terms of
I was a Kids in the Hall guy.
Okay, Kids in the Hall. Let's
Yeah, I
count
mean,
it,
oh, no,
Canada.
I loved like Mr. Show. Just
But
saying,
I go,
like there was
like,
that, yeah.
Mr. Show, UCB, Seinfeld, and then the rest of my list are British shows. Like
Yeah.
Brits do comedy better than we do.
Well,
I think.
I mean, well,
I know. I say. I mean, I think it's 6 and 1, half dozen the
Yeah.
other.
yeah,
really.
different kind of comedies.
Yeah, exactly,
Like
yeah.
like Jamaicans do sprinting.
So I
better
think
than us. Like,
let me
you know,
rephrase that.
Yeah, but I know how to
You're
run.
right.
Exactly.
You're right. Let me rephrase that. I connect more to British comedy than I
Sure.
think I do. It's dry and it's fucking dark and it's mean and
It is, but it also comes from a time
And
of
it's
the
smart.
same music, like the British invasion kind of period of time when these kind of stuff kind of came
It's
over.
punk comedy,
and
yeah.
just influenced everything that ever happened afterwards.
But then
mo-
the Americans came up with punk, like the Ramones,
Yeah.
and the British didn't do anything.
But
to
then
do
we
with
invented
punk.
the biggest achievement in American comedy for me, genuinely, is Your Office. Because
Really?
there
It
is
was
no
great.
way that should not have translated.
It
That
worked.
should not have worked.
It was different,
Well,
right? It
the-
didn't
well, the first
translate
couple
almost.
episodes,
It was different.
The first couple
yeah.
episodes were kind of trying
Oh,
to
yeah.
do the Brit, and then they adapted appropriately, and it became great. I mean,
It really did.
Let's
Yeah.
get into that in terms of British comedy. What are your guys' feelings about current day Ricky Gervais?
I don't know. Actually, I haven't actually seen any of his stuff recently.
I mean, look. I mean, you can only ever have personal opinion about something.
Yes.
But like,
Of course.
he
What
hasn't
is
done
your
anything
personal-
good since The Office.
I liked Extras.
Extras had its
Extras-
moments.
yeah,
Extras
it
had
had
its
some
moments,
strong
but its
moments, yeah.
moments, its moments were not based on Ricky Gervais's genius. They were based on the genius of the people that he got roped in to do it.
But I mean, you can't just say like, oh, Sir Ian McKellen, just say whatever you want. There you go.
You shall not pass.
You didn't even say, hey, do whatever you want. Like, no, I mean, obviously, there's somebody behind.
But it wasn't
the ship,
consistently brilliant. And actually, the one he did with Derek, I thought was actually pretty good.
Did you like it?
I like his stand-up too. Actually, his first stand-up show, I liked.
His first couple of stand-ups were unbelievable.
And that's not his background either. That's not his background.
No, it was a radio host.
Yeah,
it was a podcast. It was a podcaster.
That's what I'm saying.
And Idiot Abroad is
genius.
All the Pilkington
all the Carl
stuff
stuff is
great.
Still don't like him though.
The newest stand-up ruined me on him. Honestly,
I don't want to hang out.
Yeah, the newest stand-up
it was
not
him
good.
just going, "Ooh, am I not allowed to say trans? Ooh, I said it. Look at me, I'm a comedy genius."
Yeah,
and it's like, Rick, it was so out of touch and outdated.
What was that HBO special he did? It was him and Chris Rock and Louis C.K. and Seinfeld, and the four of them were sitting on a couch.
Oh, that panel.
Two
thing.
down.
Yeah, right.
Oh my God, you're fucking right.
Right?
Yeah.
And the thing is that like Gervais is the only one who's not a stand-up or whatever. Like, and it was one of those things where it was like It Might Get Loud, that documentary where it was all the guitarists. It was Jack White, and it was Jack White was Jimmy Page or whatever, and it was
who did that? Yeah,
and The Edge, and it's like The Edge is so out of his depth.
The Edge?
Edge from U2.
For U2.
Oh, I thought you meant Edge.
The wrestler.
I wish.
I was like, what? Okay. The Edge.
The Edge, yeah.
The rated R superstar, The Edge from
And how
U2.
The Edge was kind of pretty much out of his depth a little bit. Like, it wasn't like Gervais was completely out of his depth, but he did not have a stand-up background. Everyone kept on like kind of like deferring to like the Seinfelds of the world. Gervais doesn't really come from that kind of thing. Like,
He was a writer and a radio guy. I mean, a lot of to be fair, a lot of my. Are you familiar with Adam and Joe?
Yes.
I love that shit.
Yeah, they were
man.
great.
Like Adam and Joe was a podcast a radio show back in the day.
And a TV show.
And a TV show, right? And they also did Adam and Joe Go to Japan, which was my favorite fucking.
And now Joe is obviously a massive fucking Hollywood director.
So it was Adam Buxton and Joe Cornish, and Joe Cornish wound up he directed and wrote Attack the Block, and they both worked on they worked with Edgar Wright and stuff like that. But that was big for me. Like, I feel like there's so much comedy in England that it's hard to figure it all out.
We're so miserable and unhappy and depressed and miserable weather.
Well, let's figure out why is that. So let's change subjects.
The weather.
No.
What do you think What do you think causes the British character as we all know it?
A lack of vulnerability.
Super polite.
Not polite.
Not polite.
Hold on. Lack of vulnerability. Where are you going with that? Because I like that.
We do not have therapy. We do not have therapists. We don't have mental health problems. At least we don't diagnose them. We don't talk about them. We don't ask for help. We don't reveal what hurts us or what we need. So what we do is
Stiff
we
upper
go,
lip.
everything's fine, lol. I'm dying inside.
Yeah.
And
who's lol?
Yeah, no, but that's
a British guy.
It's like that whole thing. We facade everything. We create these fantasy versions of ourselves to be able to cope with living a normal life because we don't have a healthy way of talking about our problems. And the way that comes out is through the pythons and through absurdist comedy.
So but how do you become a python in that kind of world? I mean,
you take a lot of fucking drugs back
I was
then.
going to say, and I'm saying, does it manifest itself in class clowny kind of behavior, or when you're secretly in your room writing down jokes in the corner?
Were you a typical Brit when you were living in England? Were you?
No, I don't think I was ever typical anything.
That's what I mean.
Being Jewish for a start, really kind of.
Did you get shit for it?
Look, I'm gonna. If you don't know, you don't know. But literally, I've only been. LA is the only place I've ever been where it's okay to be Jewish. New York as well, I guess.
Come to Long Island, buddy.
Yeah, I was racially abused my whole life.
Are you fucking serious?
We were attacked at the synagogue.
Did you get bar mitzvahed?
I did get bar mitzvahed.
Oh,
yeah.
me too.
Hashtag
me too.
Thank you.
You see?
I can read that.
I
It says
no
Coca-Cola.
Oh, I'm wearing a shirt with Hebrew on there.
Yeah, very good.
For us.
L'chaim,
Did you
dorks.
really? Because I mean, there is that ugly part of England, right, where there is the Islamophobia and
England is an incredibly xenophobic.
They're
place.
racist towards Pakistanians.
It's horrible. Yeah. They hate everyone. They hate everyone.
But love Indian food.
Oh yeah, well our Indian food is proper.
Actually,
but they hate
it's better
Indians.
than Indian food.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
That's why. I know it has nothing to do with that, but
How do they feel
exactly.
about us in general?
What about Jews?
No, Americans.
About me and Matt.
Yeah.
About
bunny
Jews.
ears.
Americans are seen. I hate to break it to you, but mostly around the world, Americans are seen as brash and dumb
Okay, I'll buy that. And you
and
know what?
aggressive.
Fair enough.
And look at your president. That's the thing that you're.
Well,
putting forward.
okay. I mean, it's more kind of rather than even just now in this like immediacy. Like I mean, yes, we
No,
are
but-
brash,
but
we are
that-
brash and dumb.
But
and
he is,
loud.
but he is an archetype of that because
And loud, yeah.
it's that whole kind of thing. This is the best letter I've ever read. You love to see in it? Have you read the letter? No, I have not read the letter. I'm the best at this. I'm the greatest. I'm this. And it's that thing
So
that translates.
yes, okay, so that's big, right? So we, growing up American, we're told this is the greatest country on the planet, and we assume that every other country, their citizens feel that way. And then I talk to people and they go like, "No, dude, it's just a country."
Oh, dude, people used to.
Like,
I
Yeah.
tell you, growing up, people used to think America was the greatest country in the world, and
Yeah,
they do not in the world anymore.
This is a shift. I think in the last like 20 years,
Yeah.
probably.
Mac,
right?
because you're one
yeah,
of the
it
most
is.
famous Americans of the last 20 years, I blame this partially on you.
Oh, I know. I tried my best.
It's
Because
about
they see little kids murdering people.
yeah.
Well, it's about freedom, and it is about that word freedom. Like America was always seen as the bastion of progressive movement and freedom around the world.
And in a post 9/11 world, I mean, like for
in
lack of a better term,
internet world,
There you go,
is
yeah.
what changed everything.
truth, yeah.
Because suddenly things
to information.
spread, access to information spread, and the rest of the world started catching up and realized, oh my God, they literally all they have over us is guns. Like that they have
TV
better
channels.
education around the world. They have good, honest news media. They have everything that there is here, and they're not killing each other.
Oleana.
Do they have the Dallas Cowboys?
They don't. They
Hey,
don't have
listen. America has won every single Super Bowl ever. Just couldn't put that
And
out there.
every World Series has been won by an American
That's
team.
true.
Every American.
But here's what's wrong.
No,
Here's
that's
what-
untrue.
Here's what's wrong with American football, and again, the reason why people don't like America. 3 hours long game. Do you know what the average amount of game played time is?
Like an hour.
11 minutes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
No, yes, I've seen and heard those kind of like
How long
I've also watched plenty of football.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, come on.
A lot of passing the ball around.
But
But yeah,
In-
still.
injury time.
I'll
Give me a
turn
break.
I'll turn this around on you real.
I'm not saying.
excuse me.
But,
Hold
it's
on,
only
hold on.
90 minutes, not 3 hours.
What's your team?
Manchester United.
Oh, look at you. That's easy.
know.
Yeah,
I know, it's so
I know.
obvious.
Listen, I'm a New York Yankees fan or whatever.
Oh,
Listen,
disgusting.
listen, I should have worn my my West Ham United jersey here.
That's fine. They're not a threat.
I don't know anything about soccer, but I like
when
jerseys.
when I lived there in 2000, like I remember they beat Manchester.
Where did you live when you lived there?
Oh, I lived in Covent Garden.
Oh, how very nice.
I know.
that-
I know
is
how,
that fancy?
how posh.
Yeah, and it's not fancy, but it's literally like the middle of London. Like you couldn't get more central to everything.
Yes, no, I actually lived at the Covent Garden Hotel.
Oh, did you really?
In Covent Garden.
Oh, that's at Seven Dials, right there.
Yes, right
Yeah, yeah.
there. Yes, 10
Gentlemen,
Monmouth Street, everybody.
That
Shout
is
out.
lovely.
Warren,
it is
I'm
for
gonna,
10 months.
I'm going to
Really
defend
nice.
our sports for a moment.
Guess what? My back doesn't hurt.
Why are you telling me that right now?
Well, because I've been wearing these solo bags, and my old bags, like they actually used to like weigh down my back and my shoulders. But like this solo bag, it does the trick.
That's old news, dude. Once I got my solo New York backpack, my life changed. Not only does my back not constantly hurt, which
Really?
it always did, always forever.
Same.
Just the ability to folks, if you haven't seen these solo New York backpacks yet, you missing out because they are sleekly designed, they are subtle, they're not loud,
They don't hurt your back.
they don't hurt your back, and they've got the most pockets of all time.
For real.
It's like the geniuses at Solo were like, what does a backpack wearer need in the year 2018?
I've had it for like 3 or 4 weeks. I still am finding new pockets.
You can go to solo-ny.com/ears, shop from hundreds of designs, and get 25% off your order. Warren, we can't recommend it more, and you can find out for yourself. Again, that's solo-ny.com/ears for 25% off your order. Make your back hurt less.
Yeah.
Carry stuff around in style.
for 25% less.
And guess what? Wear the same backpack that Macaulay Culkin does. Stars, they are just like you.
What? Now back to the episode.
Thanks, Solo New York. You say that football is boring and takes a long time. Don't cricket matches take like 5
No,
fucking
it's
days?
not for cricket.
Well, that's a different thing. Yeah.
Cricket's worse than anything we got, dude.
No, cricket is on par with baseball. And I'm not complaining about American football because I actually like American
Okay.
football. I'm just saying that it's a
How much
3-hour
actual
long
time?
game.
Yeah, you're right.
And there's
You're right.
11 minutes
You
of
need a lot of
actual action.
commercials.
And commercials, and it's about the show.
But you just said you like it.
I do like it.
So there you go.
But that's because I like.
So they actually turned 11 minutes of entertainment into 3 hours
That's
of
because
entertainment.
I enjoy
We're the
tactics.
best. Yes.
I enjoy tactics, and I look at it as like this is our military movements these days. You know, this is what we get to look at. How are you going to breach that back line? What's your dummy play? What's all this kind of stuff?
Here's actually one of the advantages of American football, at least when it comes to televised stuff, is that you actually kind of get in on it and stuff.
Yes.
like just European football is it's shot from afar.
Yeah.
It's one big field, and yes, it's great to be able to see the entire field and all the action, but for some reason, these American football, you're wearing helmets, and you're actually more personally involved with who they are than you are with people who are not wearing helmets.
But
and you
we
can
have
see their
rugby.
face. Yeah, right. Well,
We probably have rugby. No
you
one
know,
watches.
You know
it,
who
but-
plays rugby or
Who?
used to?
Stu? Yeah. Shout out to Stu Miller.
I
He's
mean,
one of the guys on our
there
show.
isn't a single NFL player, I don't care how tough they've
That
ever
could
been,
compete with the rugby
that could
dude.
get on a rugby pitch.
Let's
They
go-
would get torn
Let's go back to
apart.
this cricket thing, though, because you and a friend...
You're on a rugby. You're
Well,
on a
watch
cricket
this.
kick.
Because you and your friend Ben once tried to explain to me the rules of cricket in about a 10-minute session.
Oh God, Stu's done
I
it for me
understood,
so
I
many
understood
times.
zero of it. Other than that, it seems insane.
Cricket's
You can bat forever. There's no outs. The games take like 4 days, and like
They can do, yeah.
It's like 800,000 to 900,000.
Here's the thing about cricket. Cricket is a remnant of a classist problem.
The colonial era.
It's,
right?
Yeah, it's exactly. It's what the gentlemen used to play in India when
Yes,
they were
exactly.
I was
stealing
just
the
about to say
tea.
on the
Exactly.
subcontinent it's bigger.
Yeah,
Like
that's
right
why
now.
that's why the South Indies and the India and like
They're the
so
cricket.
they love their cricket.
Peter,
test matches.
Peter Davidson's doctor used to wear a cricket outfit.
There
You know,
go.
like and he
But,
was
like,
kind of more.
I
Posh,
have
you know,
never
yeah.
ever played cricket.
No, it's not like a common thing.
I
There are
know.
no high school cricket
No,
teams.
but here's another thing. We don't also. I went to a normal school filled with normal poor kids. You know, like
who didn't have
who,
horses.
by the way, didn't have to pay for that schooling because socialist education and healthcare should be a fucking right.
Yeah,
Anyway,
shout out to Karl Marx.
Moving
Yeah,
on.
shout out to Thatcher.
But like we didn't have sports scholarships. We didn't have a football team or a rugby team or a baseball team, or we didn't have teams. We didn't play sports at school.
They don't
what'd you
they don't
do?
play soccer in college?
Nope.
There's only professional football.
So you went to professional football and were like a riot kid, like like
If you were playing at the park and you were playing with your little local youth team, then there's a chance that a scout might see you and put you on a YTS system, which puts you in the youth system at a local
course.
club, and then
Yeah.
you might get discovered and you work through them once every week, and you become a footballer. Hopefully,
it's like our baseball, where it's like there's so many levels.
So many
of,
levels.
Like, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, but like football is the sport of the common man, and there aren't any other really sports in England which are accessible
Fair
for
enough.
people.
Yeah,
I mean,
that makes
boxing,
sense.
boxing and football, I guess.
you just need a
Yeah,
ball.
so,
and
and that
yeah,
goes
yeah.
actually. I know, like Americans always hear that, but it is true. Like, it's universal across the world. I mean,
Yeah.
we're the last of the party.
I mean, honestly, if I'd grown up in America, I think I'd have probably ended up going into sports. If I'd had access to a sports team,
You
and
look like
sports
you look like a
scholarship,
baseball
Yeah.
player. Like you look like.
Because I was about to ask, like, did you
my
play
hand
football
eye
in high
is
school?
fucking terrible.
Well, I'm just saying, but also like, but you look athletic.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
I'd-
what I'm saying is, you're like,
I'd
are
have
you
gone
busy
into
on
wrestling.
Friday?
Yeah, I'd have gone into wrestling. I'd have probably ended up in the UFC. I'd have done something. I would do MMA every day anyway. Like I'd have probably ended up. I mean, I used to be rapid. I still hold the under 16 record for 400 meters in Sussex, England. I was a quick
like a
kid.
fast kid,
I was
yeah.
a fast kid. Like I'd have gone. I'd have definitely found sports
And
or
instead you
something.
found
for me.
East
Whereabouts?
Instead, I became
Oh,
an
because
actor.
I was going to say we're in Sussex, but you were in Halifax. You're talking right?
Halifax.
Halifax. No, wait, no,
Nova
that's me.
Scotia?
Yeah, no, Halifax, Nova Scotia. No, I'm speaking out of my ass. No, what was it? Man, never mind. Whatever.
I grew up in Brighton. That's where I grew up.
You're not from Brighton.
I am from Brighton.
Yeah, I know. Yes, the home of Fat Boy Slim.
That's correct, Norman Cook.
Yes, yes, yes.
I do not have a Brighton accent, however.
I know you don't.
Is there a Brighton accent?
There is a Brighton accent.
I love
Can
Brighton.
you do a Brighton impression?
Yeah, look, I mean, as soon as I start speaking to my mum, my dad, or my brother, or any of my friends from Brighton, I'm like, all right, how you doing, mate? You all right, geezer? Nice to see you.
Look at you.
Yeah.
It's
Immediately,
not that
you
different.
going down Brighton? Let's go. Let's go town. Immediately, I drop down into my Cockney-ish accent.
Yeah. No,
Yeah, where did you-
I've been there. I mean, it's pretty much like they have a boardwalk. It's like the Coney Island of England.
It's like the Coney
No, it
Island. of
totally
England.
is. Like,
but,
yeah.
but it is cool. I think it's the best place to live in England, possibly.
Honestly, yes, and it's only a half hour from London,
Yeah.
and
It's a winner.
Yeah, for all you Americans listening out there, I actually highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun.
We touched on Indian food earlier, British food in general. Now, it doesn't have the best
We
reputation
don't
in
really
the world,
have
right?
any.
No,
There's not
the
such
food's
a
gotten
thing.
better. The food's gotten better.
I tell you what, last time I went back, which was I was back there last July to shoot a movie, and I was astonished. I hadn't been back for a few years, and the difference in London in that time is
It's for real.
amazing. It's clean. The people are nice. They started allowing them to put like seats outside of restaurants and like tables outside on the front on the sidewalk. So now suddenly London is
Like a nice city.
it's like a nice city that you enjoy walking around again, and
Yeah.
and the food. Like the immigration of all these people that all these bastards want to keep out the country has vastly improved our food
like every
palate.
country, like that's the problem with xenophobia. You have to eat horrible, boring food that your fucking forefathers invented, right?
Right.
I mean, one thing we've always had that I don't think even you guys do as well as we do is a roast. Like,
I agree with
There you go. Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
I shout out to Laura James or Laura Ryan, who's married to Joey Ryan, who's a friend of ours.
Yeah.
She's British. I think you've met her actually in my house.
right.
That British girl, Laura. Yeah, she's from like Lincolnshire or something.
She's British. You would know her.
You
Yes,
talked
exactly.
about it. Her mom and aunt were in town over Christmas last year, and they were so depressed that they couldn't have like a traditional Sunday roast. They made one, and I got invited over, and it changed my fucking life.
it will. It
I
will.
love
What
York-
did they cook you?
I was a Yorkshire pudding.
But what was the meat?
Oh, it was prime rib, I think.
Oh, you
probably.
did a prime rib roast.
But
Yeah.
but the way the skins are in general, the way like
the crispy skins, the roast
Everything.
potatoes,
Mushy peas I fell in love with.
Do you know, I never got
No,
mushy peas.
oh, I
could
love
never
it.
quite do it.
I'll
But
make it in the
mashed
blender.
swede.
Dude, I was never into parsnip. That's parsnip,
Oh,
right?
parsnips.
Yeah.
Do you know how many people I've introduced to parsnips here? And it's proper Marmite. You either love it or you
It's great.
really
Yeah,
hate
yeah.
it.
Mhm.
Like,
You guys have weird
It's
names
a-
for vegetables too.
yeah, well, like
courgette-
what do we call an eggplant? I forget.
Aubergine.
Aubergines.
Aubergine.
Yeah, an aubergine.
Yeah, yeah,
Call it
yeah.
an aubergine,
Yeah.
and you guys call what do you call cucumbers? Like
Marrows? Are you talking about the
is
marrows?
that what it is?
No, we call them cucumbers, but there is
All right.
something similar, which I can't remember what you call it, but we call them marrows.
You guys have fun words for things. Is basically what I'm getting
do,
at.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I like
Boot, lift.
I mean, even
What do you mean? The
mash.
trunk of your car, the boot,
Yeah, petrol.
petrol.
I love petrol. I love. I just love the pronunciation on advertisement
Advertising
and aluminium.
Aluminium.
aluminium. Yes.
Yeah, and,
Well,
uh,
I used to
and-
get annoyed
and-
about that, but you do genuinely spell it differently.
Yeah,
Yes.
we do, right? Yeah.
What
it's
about
a
what
word,
about what
yeah.
about triple?
Triple.
that?
Because there's triple and there's treble.
Oh, treble.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
see, that's what I meant.
But again, that's a classist thing. I think rich people might go. Can I get the treble?
you know,
treble
what?
whiskey.
When I was living in London, it confused me. 'Cause
Yeah.
Anne Robinson.
Well, this is
Oh, was
the-
always trebling it going to the last round. I had no idea
Do you
what
know
the hell
what?
you were talking about.
I got an audition sent through to me today, and one of the things it says English accent, and I'm like,
Got it.
What kind of
kind?
English accent? Like you can't just say American accent. Like if it's
Liverpool,
shooting,
Brighton, London. Like,
I mean,
you
you got to bear in mind that you can fit 3.5 Englands into Texas alone. And in that space, there
like
are
40
maybe
accents.
500
Yeah.
different
Yeah.
dialects and accents from West Country, like Stephen Merchant, you know, like up to
Or like
up
the
to
Hobbits. That's
or
how
the
they- yeah.
Hobbits, or even
Or Geordie. Can you do Geordie?
Bristol.
No one who isn't a Geordie
Can do a Geordie accent?
Well, yeah, man, you have no idea what they're saying, man.
It's pretty great.
It's
That's not
impossible.
bad.
It's impossible. It's so hard to do. Like Charlie Hunnam's a Geordie. And most people don't realize that Charlie.
he really?
He's a Geordie.
He just
know
hides
what?
it well.
Fair
he
enough.
hides that well, doesn't
Holy
he?
shit! I just got a lot more respect for his American
Right?
accent if he's a fucking Geordie.
He's a proper Geordie.
You did a Welsh accent earlier that was pretty killer.
I did do a Welsh accent.
Have you ever been there?
Wales?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like saying if you've been to Santa Monica. Yeah.
Have you ever been to Welsh?
Yeah, exactly.
Like have you been to all of the kingdoms in the UK?
I have. I've done Northern Ireland. Yeah, I've done all.
Scotland
I've done
and
all. Yeah,
Wales.
yeah. I've spent more time in Scotland than I have in.
Have you been to the
Wales.
Falklands?
I have not been to the Falklands.
Oh,
Definitely
man.
don't go to the Falklands.
Oh, man.
I haven't been to the colonies, per se, but I have. I just the stupid thing is, it's only when you come to America and you realize that I can take a road trip and go to Big Bear or Arrowhead or Santa Barbara or San Francisco, and I've done the entire West Coast, most of the South. I've done the Pacific Northwest. I've done quite a lot of the East Coast. And in the entire time that I was in London, Europe was on my doorstep. I've never been to Paris. I barely...
Really?
Yeah, barely even ever left
Are
London.
most British people like that?
Yeah.
Because the rest of
okay.
Europe is not like that at all,
No,
right?
it's not like
They
that.
all- It's like a free flow.
Because I've spent a lot of time over there, and that's why
you
when
live in-
when you were saying you're like, oh, Europeans, that Americans are dumb and brash and stuff like that. There's actually there are certain countries where we are dumb and brash, but we're also cool.
Which one?
Oh, yeah.
Tell me where to go.
No. You also need to remember that people always thought Americans are dumb and brash because they're, like, Fuck you.
Yeah.
A little bit jealous. There's a little bit of jealousy there.
Yeah, we do a lot of the music. We
You're-
do a lot of the
we
movies.
get the TV
Like,
first.
You guys taking your year outs and your spring breaks and coming over here and getting drunk and partying and having a good time. We don't get to do that.
Yeah, exactly. We don't get to do that.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
We don't have a
yeah.
year out thing. We don't do that year out thing that you guys do.
Do we do like in between college and high school, or after college? You mean before getting
Just
a job?
the whole kind of
I
like
guess
breaks.
so.
I mean, I know the French definitely do that. They kind of do,
Yeah.
like, the Australians do a year abroad, which is kind of
Yeah, I see them every time. I
Australians are
see them
constantly
every
just
time I'm
doing
in
that.
another
That is-
country, and
Yeah.
they're
Yes,
screaming
it's
at all
almost-
times.
It's borderline obnoxious.
Here's the thing.
Like,
Everyone loves Australians, apart from black people. But everyone loves Australians.
Sorry, excuse me, Aborigines.
No. I mean, literally. They're so funny. If you know, I have many Australian friends, and they are so openly like racist.
Thank you, Rob. Thank you.
have no idea
Welcome
what
to
you
the
just walked
podcast.
into.
Yeah.
Welcome to Bunny Ears, Australia. We've been telling you since episode 1.
Yeah.
If you ever want me and Mac to visit, you gotta work on the racism.
But no, here's the thing. They're not actually racist. Like
No, they throw the language around.
they
though,
throw the
like
language
gunslingers.
around real bad, and they're so aggressive like about it. But it's like in England when I don't know what I can say here.
Go for it.
But like the word cunt is like a friendly term.
oh,
for
you
us.
can't say
Yeah.
that.
No.
We're gonna have to edit that out. No, wait till you hear we end the show. We can say cunt all we want.
Yes.
So,
yeah, no, I mean, yes, I think it's actually offensive to like the female persuasion
Yeah.
out here, but in general, like, yeah, no, like,
I mean,
yeah.
look, I always have the opinion that offense can only be taken; it can't be given. Like, it doesn't matter how much you want to offend someone. If
You're
they're
absolutely
not,
right.
If they're not offended, they're not
Yeah.
offended.
No, I think that's apt.
Unfortunately, Australia is a place where they don't take offense to this shit. Mostly,
Man, I've hung out with Australians where they just throw the N-word around.
Yeah. They
like,
do it
just
like
Fucking
my-
crazy,
my-
but
my
they're so
fight-
happy and
Yeah.
smiling when
My
they do
fight
it.
coach
Exactly.
my fight coach is Australian, and most of the people that I fight with are African American or various ethnicities. And you know, he's Manny Pacquiao's main like coach as well. And like he goes around there calling people anything he likes, and people go, "Oh, you love you Australian bastard!"
Yeah,
like,
but, oof, I know.
it makes you
guess.
so uncomfortable.
Yes.
But there's genuinely like no malice behind it. It's just
Yeah.
a remnant of colonial England again.
As long as there is no malice behind the words, I can get that. But there's certain times where it's like, all right, dude, if you want to hang around me,
Yeah.
you can't throw that word around. Like, you just can't. Like, and I'm talking like in those, like, the words that I can't say.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
But
Even worse is when a white guy because here's the problem: you can't say the word at all, right? I remember once I said it in the context of a joke, and then this guy goes, "Oh man, we're gonna be such good friends now that I know that, like, we're on the same level." And I was like, "Oh fuck!"
like white power kind of thing. Like,
Literally,
oh, boy.
was like, "Oh, you're one of us," and I was like, "No."
No.
I
Okay.
used to get into such serious arguments about this because I've become really obsessed with racism over the last few years and institutionalized racism because I recognize that I am myself racist.
I'm obsessed with racism also.
Yeah, it's really, like but it's a thing. Like
Bummer, right?
we are all
Everyone
racist.
is racist.
Everyone
Genetically
is racist.
wired to be.
Not genetically wired to be.
No?
like societally
Societally
wired to be. And there's nothing that you can do about it. It comes from the shows we watch, the way things were told. And I used to argue with my friends about the N-word and say that, it's in popular music, and also if you're going to appropriate it, then you've got to, if you empower a word, I always felt like if you depower a word, people won't use it to hurt you. And my thinking on that evolved over the last few years as I've become more and more involved in the African American community and the black community.
Yeah, you were in Red Tails.
But
more about listening, and my thinking on it has evolved that it's not none of my fucking business. Like, it's none of my business.
We're not allowed to.
It's not my fucking
our
business.
word. It's not our word.
It's not our word.
It's not our word to take back.
No, and it's not my right to sit here and say this is what should happen.
And,
It's just not.
and philosophically, you're correct. We're just not there. You know what I mean? Like,
We are just not there.
Yeah.
We are not in
so
that
many
place.
ways.
And we would like in a generation or so, sooner rather than later, that like yes, like
I mean,
words,
it
like,
dies
you know,
out.
yeah,
And it will die out.
but we're not there.
We are not there.
We'll get there.
So
We'll get there.
watch what you fucking say.
Maybe Brexit will fix it.
Yeah, watch what
Brexit's really going to help.
watch what you fucking say, you fucking cunt.
Yeah, perfect. You kike bastards.
British quick fire round, right? Hey, let's just ask you random questions about England that we have in our head. So I have one. Why does everyone talk about Nando's, and what is it?
Oh, chicken Nando's.
Yeah.
All right. You've
guys-
never had Nando's?
No, they don't have it here.
Oh my God, they don't have it here.
Your face just lit. The
Oh,
fuck up.
Nando's is the shit. Okay, Nando's.
Do you know what Nando's
No, I
is?
don't. I don't
Okay.
know what Nando's.
I'm going to buy you both Nando's sauces because you can get
The
those here.
puri, right?
Yeah. So Nando's is a fast food chain in England. And imagine like really, really not healthy, but like it's chicken cooked in Nando sauce and with French fries or salad or rice, and you pop in, you have a cheeky Nando's for lunch. It's like $15. It's healthy, it's light, and it's the best tasting food in England.
Oh, look at that! All right,
And it's actually Portuguese.
Is it really?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Quick question.
Go for it.
Did you watch the royal wedding?
No.
Okay.
Matt, did you?
No.
I did.
Look, I'm not anti-monarchist. I really don't care either way.
Well, I just wanted to see because I have some Brit friends that like totally aren't that way, but
just
they
not-
watch the fucking wedding.
I'm not a fan of celebrity in general, so like I don't get. I'm fine. Look, I think William and Harry are great. I think she's fucking. I think.
Yeah, I think they're classy as
I
fuck.
think they're fine people.
Yeah,
I think the Duke of Edinburgh is one of the funniest people that's ever walked this earth, just for this fucking unbelievable stupidity. I like the royal family. I like them as people.
Yeah.
I hate the obsession that people have with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it as
It's a
are they
fucking
as obsessed
baby.
in England as they are in other countries with it? Like, are there like are
Yeah, I think they are.
yeah.
But I like it's a wedding. Who cares? I mean, this one's a bit different because it is nice to see a little bit of black in the royal family.
Totally.
Like that
For the
is
first time
fucking
ever?
ever.
Ever.
You know,
Yeah.
that's progress.
That was cool.
You know, like and just
Yeah,
because you all know also
that's controversial.
Oh, they're
but you know that the
they're
queen
pissed.
and the king are a little bit pissed about
Oh,
it.
of course. Oh, fucking course.
They're a
man.
little
Yeah.
bit pissed.
Not
about
only
it.
was she a commoner, but
Yeah, not only is she
and an
American, she's a colonial. Like, are you kidding? They're
No,
a little bit pissed.
It's we gotta clean up that royal blood a little bit.
they
I mean,
hate the
there's
show
so much
Suits,
freaking
right?
inbreeding and all that kind of stuff over
They're
centuries.
all
looking
inbred
at-
and German anyway.
That's
Like-
what I'm talking. That's what I'm saying. So bring
Yeah,
bring
but
in
now
some
they got a
new-
fresh
come
start
on,
because
some
of
new
Diana's
genes.
kids, right?
Yeah, bring in
Do
some
you know
new
what?
genes.
I love that the Queen can still technically declare war if she wants to.
Yes.
Can she really?
Yes,
Yes, she can.
She doesn't need a passport, a driver's license. There's all these things. Like
And
when she
without the
travels,
government say so, she can just declare war.
I hope she gets
She-
senile enough to just randomly.
she could
like, on her
dissolve.
deathbed,
She could
be like,
dissolve
"Fuck it."
parliament.
She
Still.
can dissolve
She could
parliament.
dissolve parliament.
When you win the election in England with the general election, you have to go before the Queen and request permission to
If it's
to
okay.
create a parliament.
Yeah.
Has she ever said no?
No,
No, of course not. It's more.
but
of a-
imagine if she did.
I know.
Do you think she like? Do you think she likes
Imagine.
being the queen?
Like, imagine if like next election she just went, "No, it's
No,
my
fuck
turn."
it.
It's my time.
She makes one of her corgis prime minister.
This is a bad movie.
Mr. Wiggles.
kinda wanna write this movie.
What's
Yeah,
Emily Blunt doing next year? babe?
Exactly. We had young Pope. Let's go for bad queen. Bad
Queen.
Bad queen.
Bad Queen.
Bad queen. Yeah, you remember Bad Santa and Bad Grandpa?
You know what? I'm electing Donald Glover.
I feel good. No.
I'm only 5 days from retirement.
Queen Elizabeth, you can't ride on a longboard down the high street. Let's make it. Let's start a film studio and make it.
Let's do it. I think now's the time. You ever do theater out there in London,
No,
the West End or anything?
I always wanted to. I don't think I have the facility for it.
No.
I don't think I have the cranial ability to stay interested in the same performance 8 times a week, and I don't think I have the vocal strength to be able to fill a theater. So I've always kind of avoided it. I think I was more made for TV and the small screen or the big screen. I'll give it a shot one day maybe, and if I
cool.
don't suck, I'll carry on.
Well, it was the reason I was going there is because I was when I was working out there. They brought over the Vicar. I didn't know what a freaking vicar was.
Dibley?
And each theater gets its own vicar.
I did not know this.
Yes, and it like they'd explain to me kind of just even what a vicar was.
It's a priest.
Well, that's what I say. Like,
mean-
yeah, that's what I mean.
Why
Like,
did it
would
get
would
its
you mind
own-
explaining to our audience what a vicar is?
It's a priest.
It's
I
a
mean,
goddamn
And
priest.
a barrister is a lawyer.
A barrister is a lawyer, yeah.
you
Or
go.
a solicitor is also a lawyer, but a solicitor does not defend you in court. A solicitor handles legal documents, but a barrister goes up to the
Like a
actual
trial
court.
lawyer.
Do you know why they wear those wigs?
no.
Because
You know why? Do you know
they hate their hair.
No, but the only reason they wear those white wigs in court.
Yeah, I don't know.
I actually researched this the other day. Like Chloe and I were sat down and she asked me the question, and I actually I was like, I don't know, and I researched it. And the reason they wear those white wigs is because they made it law in 1700 and no one's changed it.
Just like
I feel like all of Europe is that, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I just love that idea. They're just like, oh, I have to wear this fucking wig again, like for no reason.
let's hire a solicitor.
yeah,
let's
well,
do it.
I have there's a barrister. You need a barrister.
Oh,
if you
cool.
want one of them.
Actually, you know what? Let's hire them both.
Let's hire them both to fight.
Yes, to change that law.
Yeah.
yes.
I mean, why wouldn't you just go? No, let's
No,
get rid of the
never mind.
wigs.
Never mind. Let's get rid of those.
What do you miss most about England?
Excluding people.
Yeah.
The architecture.
Really?
There's a sense of solidity and permanence and history and culture that it doesn't weigh you down so much as permeate your soul when you're there. And here, everything's made of wood and is impermanent, and the architecture doesn't match.
It's
There's
our
no
favorite
such thing
Eddie.
as Georgian structures.
It's our favorite Eddie Izzard bit about, you know what I mean? Like, we all think you guys live in castles, and you do. Like,
we live in bricks. We live within bricks.
No, but it goes to Europe where the history comes from.
Well, it's like in America, it's like this building is 50 years old.
My
and it's
flat in
this
London is
permanence.
older than Canada.
Yeah, no shit. That's what I mean. Like,
Are you serious?
Yeah.
And also,
by 20 years or something.
I'll even say, like, England in general is different than the rest of continental Europe, at least, like, architecture-wise and all that kind of stuff. I mean, there are certain kind of, like, streets in Prague that are, like, they're very similar to
most of
Paris.
Europe has been destroyed and ravaged by various wars, and we only really had the Blitz to deal with, so most of London
you guys
stood.
got blitzed pretty good, though.
Yeah, but that's why we have new builds, but we still have a lot
Has
of
there ever
stuff.
been big fires in London?
In 1666.
You mean the Fire of London?
Sure, that one. Is that when the bridge fell down?
London Bridge falling down. Yeah, that was 1666 though. So a lot of
66,
London dates back about 400 years. Some of the old abbeys are older than that, but like everything is older than anything here. I mean,
But I'm just saying,
that,
like I said, there's streets in Prague that are like look like they could be in Paris, or like and same thing with like Germany and Austria, like that kind of thing. Like,
but still, like there's so much about Europe because there's no fault line there. It's safe from earthquakes.
But England in general also is kind of uniquely England, like in their architecture and all
yeah,
that.
and Georgian architecture is special in the
Tudor
Tudor stuff.
Exactly. I mean, like the Bank of England. Also, I mean, actually, we even based a lot of our architecture in Washington D.C.
It makes an effort to be beautiful.
It is cool. It really is.
No, it's beautiful, and it's also uniquely English.
I just realized,
which is appreciative.
I just realized Gringotts and Harry Potter is like based on Herod. It's like just that column thing that you guys all have.
But look at Hogwarts. That kind of shit exists.
Yeah, that's so fucking
We
cool.
have that kind of stuff. We have castles all around the
We have
country.
it too,
You have
man.
wizards?
We do have wizards. Yeah.
Would you fight? Would you fight one?
Would you fight a wizard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a question we like to ask every guest now.
Last week I asked him whether or not he would fight a wizard, because we were just talking about fighting in general.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I wouldn't fight. I'm like, would you fight a wizard? He was like, well, if you give me a magic shield and sword, I would.
It was either if you
no,
gave
no,
me
no,
magic,
no.
or if you stripped him of magic, which meant he was just an old
Well,
man
no,
with a beard.
then he's not a wizard, is
But
he?
I'd fight him.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
So pretty much it's like, would you fight Ian McKellen?
You've got to assume that you are. If we're picking our class that we're going to play, that you are warrior or thief or rogue.
Can't
or
we, I think we're
equivalent.
just us.
I'll go straight paladin, dude.
I'm pretty sure I could. I'm fairly
You could take a
certain.
wizard?
I'm fairly certain that if I had to, I like some things would bounce off me. I feel like I'm anti-magical. You know, I
Because
feel
you were a fairy,
I
right?
was,
Like,
I was just thinking as soon as I met you, I'm like, you are just not magical at all.
magical in the least.
What a non-magic
Mac,
person.
fuck, I gotta cancel my hexing plan.
Just at one look.
I feel like I'm such an atheist that his magic wouldn't work on me.
You have to
This
believe in
is
the magic
real.
to make
Yeah,
it work.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's funny because I've been using a voodoo doll on you for the last year, and it's just
That
apparently
explains a lot.
There you go.
Goddamn herps.
Do you guys want to play around? Clock blockers, Mackie? You feeling it?
Yeah, okay, yeah, sure.
do it.
We haven't played this in forever.
No, we got a
actually,
game
on
we
the-
like to play with
Okay.
all of our guests here, Rob.
It's called Close Your Eyes and Open Your Mouth.
Oh yeah, love that game.
You're well versed in it. No, it's a game actually, and Warren, I don't know that we've ever announced this on the show before. We have an official name for this game now.
Oh, I mean, I don't know. I mean, we've been calling it Clock Blockers.
There you go. So we're gonna play around with clock blockers. You know, Warren, if you don't know how it works, Mac and Rob, there's a chess clock in between them. They're gonna have 2 minutes on the clock. We're going to come up with a random category, and they're going to go back and forth naming things in the category, and Mac will show you like a little example.
And then I hit this button. Or?
Exactly. So when you hit your button,
Yeah.
my clock starts, right?
Okay.
And then when I hit it, and so whoever runs out of time is like, the loser. So like, let's say we're talking about, let's say the category was types of fish.
Okay.
I'd say tuna and your clock.
Bass.
Exactly. Like
You got it.
Salmon.
That's the game.
So that's the game, and whoever runs out. So we should come up with a category.
Sure. Should we theme it to what we've been talking about today, or?
I mean, I've got the slight advantage, don't I?
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah.
I don't know. You think? What do we got?
I don't know. What do we have? What have we not
British
done?
people.
Just British people.
British people.
No. People from the UK.
Okay, I like it. It
Living
broadens it.
dead.
You'll see.
Living dead, historical.
Oh, you'll see.
Fictional, the whole works.
Mac, do we want to do 2 on the clock? Or?
No.
Okay.
We'll do 90
We'll go
seconds
shorter
each.
round.
Go ahead. You start us off.
Emilia Clarke.
Winston Churchill.
Kit Harington.
Okay. Why am I? What,
Whoa.
whoa. Kate Winslet.
Tony Blair.
Oh, who was before that? Oh, shut your face. You're looking at me stupid.
What is happening?
Colin Firth.
John Major.
Why am I not actually? Oh, Harry Potter.
I'll take it.
Hugh Grant.
Hermione.
Robbie Coltrane.
Ron Weasley.
We need last names, Mac.
I said Weasley.
Alan Rickman.
Yeah, oh, I miss him. My friend Tori.
Dawn French.
Stephen Fry.
Jennifer Saunders.
Hugh Lowry.
Oh, good one. Jon Snow, the newscaster.
Oh, there you go.
The newscaster.
Say the other one. So many snows. Oh no, you already did. Oh no, Jon Snow. Actually, no, you didn't.
You can't do that. You can't do that. Lena Headey.
Hermione. No, I already said it. Gosh, I'm not even. I did not even.
I'm gonna
prep
give you
myself.
help. Who played Hermione?
Yeah, her.
Oh, okay.
Should we say Emily Blunt.
Sure. Stephen Fry.
I already said
You
it.
already said it.
Oh, damn it.
In your face, because I did the Hugh Lowry thing.
Okay, I've completely gone blank now.
See?
It's
harder than it looks.
Billy Connolly.
Rowan Atkinson.
Eddie Izzard.
Oh, okay, there you go. I'm going to go Matt Smith.
Spike Milligan.
Smike Milligan, okay.
I know who that is.
Oh, yeah, Robert Pertwee.
Very good. Paul McCartney.
Oh, John Lennon.
There you go, boys.
All right, I've forgotten the other two. Ringo Starr.
George Harrison.
Roger Daltrey.
Oh, okay. Why am I being stupid?
Max only got.
Don't tell me what to do.
Sorry.
You're saying it into my head. I can hear you in my ears.
I'm trying to whisper.
Oh, Eric Idle.
Mick Jagger.
Oh, Keith Richards.
Rick Mayall.
Rick James. No, I'm just kidding.
Ladies and gentlemen,
time.
that's the game, and
Bravo,
our winner is
good
Rob
game.
Kazinsky.
It's actually oddly hard when you blank out.
Yeah, when you blank out, you're like, there's too many English people. I could have said me.
You said Rob Kazinsky. look how sweaty we are.
Yeah, that's not easy. That's not easy.
Yeah, man. And hey, you won though, so.
Yeah.
Oh, friggin'
Take it.
And of course,
I could have said mom, dad.
Yes, exactly. Every kid
like
you
my
went
friend
to,
Tori. Every kid you went to school with?
Yeah, literally could have said anything.
You only said one of the pythons?
I know.
Yes, I only got
Only
that
one
far.
Python, John Cleese. No, you did Eric Idle and
I
Spike
said
Milligan.
Idle, but yeah, no,
Milligan
didn't
wasn't really a Python.
Milligan wasn't a
was he?
python,
No,
no.
yeah, Gillian. We didn't say Cleese.
Gilliam's American.
Was
Boom, boom. Terry Gilliam's American, yeah.
Yeah, but he's in the Python, so we'll give him a pass.
He's from Minnesota.
Is he really?
Oh, yeah, dude.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, absolutely. He was like an American
We
magazine illustrator.
We said people from the UK. We could have done Irish or Scottish also. Like we didn't even
I tried to
go down
cover
that
Scots.
Yeah, and Michael
Sean
Gambon.
Connery.
Couldn't do Michael Gambon. Like yeah.
All the Bonds.
Yeah, every Bond.
Every Bond.
Idris
Actually,
Elba,
Idris
my
Elba.
doppelganger.
Even better, you could have said James Bond. I mean, even fictional was up for
Exactly.
grabs.
the
Man.
Queen
Like,
of England.
God damn it!
Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
Anyone? Meghan
Jack,
Markle.
No,
Jack the Ripper.
Do you know what I was doing? I was literally in my head going, are there any English Avengers? I was like, okay, so yes, Tom Holland, Benedict Cumberbatch.
You were getting
now,
hung up
like,
on specifically
Paul
English Avengers.
Bettany,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the
Paul
Vision.
Bettany, the Vision. Like,
Everyone
there are
and
so
every
many.
God damn it! I'm
every
the
cast
worst.
member of Lord of the Rings.
I didn't.
Yeah, what?
Except for Elijah Wood and Sean Astin, right?
Well, Elijah
You know
Wood
what?
did have an
Never
accent for a
mind at
minute
all.
there.
I don't know how many British people.
Well,
Just
no,
John Rhys Davies and
yeah, John Rhys
Orlando
Davies.
Bloom.
No,
And
no,
Kate
no, no, no.
Blanchett.
And Dominic Monaghan and...
The other
the
Billy
other one,
Boyd.
Philly. Yeah, Billy Boyd.
And Kate Blanchett and Hugo.
She's
Weaving.
Australian.
So now we're actually just
Now we're
listing
doing the
off
Lord of the
people
Rings
on the
games.
Rings.
Rob, where can people what you got anything coming up? Where can people see you? What are you proudest of?
Yeah.
If people haven't seen your work in anything, what would you recommend?
I would recommend going and watch Pacific Rim because it's one of the biggest
buddy.
biggest joys you could ever go and watch as a movie. And then you could also watch Warcraft. I mean, you literally listed all that shit at the beginning. Just go back to the beginning.
Yeah,
of this.
watch EastEnders.
Yeah, watch EastEnders. Hopefully, we'll have some good stuff coming up soon. We'll soon see.
Are you on the interwebs?
Yeah, any, like,
Twitter?
Twitter,
I
Instagrams?
am. I mean, it's Robert Kazinsky on Twitter, but I tweet once a month when I can remember to annoy Donald Trump. But that's about it. I don't really.
You should set an alarm every day.
I know. I
Annoy
don't
Trump.
really do the internet thing too well.
Just think of that though. Once a month when he doesn't expect it, Trump's like,
Oh, that Kazinsky!
This has been really fun, man.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get to do it in England one day.
Let's have
No.
let's do this again. Let's have some spotted dick ready and everything. Like, yeah, let's do this. Bangers
That's a
and mash.
dessert.
I know.
I would love to eat
No,
only
but
spotted
most
dick.
people don't. You would love to eat my.
I know. I've
can
had.
make.
Yeah.
I can make.
You
It's
got a
just
good spotted
sponge and
dick?
raisins and cinnamon.
Let's
I
do
know,
it.
I
Hey,
just
man,
love- I just love
we
the
will
name.
eat your spotted dick.
Yeah,
will eat my
next
spotted
time
dick.
you're on the show.
Darn
Done.
tootin'.
Our stuff, Warren, if you want to follow us, we're on the interwebs. We are at Bunny Ears Pod on Twitter, Bunny Ears Podcast on Instagram. We got a phone number, yo.
Yeah, call us.
Call us, leave a voicemail, and of course, the number for that is 845-EZE-HOAX. That's 845-393-4629.
Wait, what's the area code?
845
845
EZE hoax.
Oh, okay, cool. I was just making sure.
BUNNY.
Yeah.
And check out bunnyears.com as always. And I'm on all the things at Camel Toad. Coke, where you at, kid?
I'm at the Incredible Coke on the Twitters and at Hulkamania on the Instagrams.
Colcomania.
Oh yeah, no. So yeah, Colks. It's all
Get your
Colks.
own thing wrong.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
You said
it's fine.
Hulkamania, right? Am I crazy?
He did.
I
Okay,
did.
cool.
Yeah, no, okay, I wasn't denying it.
No, yeah,
No. I was like, yeah, I probably did. I kind of just. That's why.
It's okay, brother.
That's why, brother man.
Happens to us all, brother.
Yeah, no, I was close to my. I was like, wait, what is it? And then, and yeah.
And England, we have a special message for you. Mac, what do we tell them at the end of every show?
Oh, try not to suck too much dick, but if you do, send pics. Send pics of your spotted dicks.
Make sure it's spotted. We love you, Blighty.
Peace. Find me, gag me, take me to the bunny ranch.
Hello? I mean, is this Matt and Mac? I love you guys. You guys are the best. Bunny Ears is the best. I've heard that there's a stew involved, and I think that stew is cool. Thank you guys. The Warren says thank you.
So something like cocaine into Matt Cohen. It's Ben. Kind of still sort of half drunk. I walked back to my campus. Now I'm walking back to my house. And I thought, what a fine evening to call the folks over at the Bunny Ears podcast. Give them a howdy do. And I hope you guys are doing well. And take care.
Hey guys, I've always been curious, at the end of every episode, what does that guy scream? And what is it from? Anyway, Warren loves you.
A Bunny Ears LLC production.
You are freaking lumberjack!